All right, class, we're back at it again. Instead of looking at, what am I talking about? Instead of looking at rectangles and trapezoids, which we were looking at last week, or not trapezoids, rectangles and parallelograms, now we're moving on to triangles, area of a triangle. And we're just going to jump right into it. So, boom, right here. Use the image below to describe how a rectangle and a triangle are both similar and different. Well, if we look at them, they have the same, let me use a crown. They have the same height. We have the same height. And they also have the same base. Okay, so we can put that right here. They have the same height and base, H and B. But if we pay attention and look really closely, we can tell that this right triangle is only half of a rectangle. If I were to complete the shape, sorry, I'm doing this with the mouse, so it's not perfect. You would need two right triangles in order to make a rectangle. And if you take a rectangle and cut it in half, corner to corner, then it gives you the two right triangles. So the difference is, the similarities is they have the same base and height. The difference is a triangle, whoops, what was I spelling there? A triangle has half the area because a triangle is literally half, it is half a rectangle. Okay, move on. What is basically what I just said. A rectangle can always be cut in half to produce two equal right triangles, okay? And again, here's what I mean by that. I'm going to switch up the colors just so it doesn't get boring. If I had a rectangle and I cut it in half long ways, I get two equal right triangles. So it's saying if the formula of finding the area of a triangle is area equals base times height, then how could you describe the formula to finding the area of a triangle? Well, if we have a rectangle, I'm going to, hold on, back up. I'm going to change colors. If we have a rectangle, okay, and we know to find the area, it is height times base. Height times base, sorry. But that's for the whole thing. With the triangle, we only need to find half. So what can I do to this formula to only find half? I can tell you what we're going to do. And I'm just going to switch colors again. In order to find only half, because we only need half. Okay, we don't need the whole thing, we only need half to find a triangle. So, if our original formula is A equals BH, but we only need half of it, we can divide it, right, to find half. And in order to find half, all you need to do is divide it by 2. So this is the formula to finding the area of a triangle. It's just half of the base times height. Okay. It can also look like, let me erase this over here. It can also look like this. It can be the area of a triangle equals half of the base times height. So these are the two ways you're going to see it. I'm going to draw a little star next to it. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. You're going to see in these two ways, okay? Take a look at that. Pause it if you need to. I'm going to delete it. Bink. And now I'm moving down. So right here we have a few examples I'm only going to write the formula once, so I'm not rewriting it every time. The formula is the area equals half of the base times the height. Okay, so half the base, area equals half the base times height. So if we're looking at this shape right here, we're trying to find the area of the shaded figure. There we go. So let's find the base. Base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we were to plug it in, I'm going to do it down here. We got half of 5 times the height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So half of 5 times 7. And 5 times 7 is 35. And now we're going to multiply it by a half. And multiplying by a half is the same as or equal to 35 divided by 2. 35 divided by 2. So if we were to do that, 35 divided by 2 equals, you would get 17.5. And remember that area is always in units squared. Okay? I'll walk you through one more real quick. I'm going to erase this. You gotta let me know if y'all like this drawing on the board thing or if you like the old videos better. I was just trying something new so I didn't have to print off a bunch of paper. Anyway, our formula is the same. Area equals half the base times height. So let's find our base. Our base is always on the bottom. So there's our base. Whoops, that's a funky B. And here's our height, okay? So it is half the base is 14, half of 14 times 16. Whoops. Half of 14 times 16. So if I did 14 times 16, that's 224. Now I want to multiply it by a half. And again, remember, multiplying by a half is the same as dividing by 2. So we're going to divide it by 2. 2's are the hardest to draw. 224, so it goes in that once, goes in that once, and goes in this twice. So the area would be 112. We're measuring this in inches, so inches squared. Okay, I want you all to do this one on your own, see what you get, and take a look at this if you need to. I'm going to delete it. Delete. And we're going to stop right there. There's a triangle one. I'm going to make another video for the trapezoid. And then after you go through the trapezoid video, there's going to be a small homework assignment, okay? There we go.